There are places where you don't just bring up two peen situations. Today I'm bringing you a book tag, the Ride or Die book tag by Laudette M. Hannah, my bestie, my Ride or Die. This is a book tag that she created like 3 years ago. I think it was the first book tag she ever created, and I never did it, so we're doing it. We're doing it now. Now, I'm still filming this without my mic because I still don't have the battery for it, and the kids are playing with candles. So I'm sorry if there is, again, a lot of background noise. Hopefully I will get that battery for my mic very soon, and that will help kind of get some of that background noise out a little bit and isolate my voice. We're hoping. But let's just get into this tag because I have all my answers set and written down and I'm ready to go. First up, we have The BFF, which is a book that not everyone likes, but that has been with you from the start and you'll always love them. Now, sadly, my mind immediately went to goddamn Twilight. It's just the series that I picked up in probably, I want to say, middle school, that began my love of fantasy, paranormal romance. I read so many things because I read Twilight, and I still like to reread it. It's not good. I would not recommend that anybody go read Twilight, and I have no interest in reading anything else that Miss Stephenie Meyer ever releases in the future, but Twilight just holds that spot in my heart where you don't have to like her. I don't even know if I like her. Then we've got The Long Drive, a book you would take on a journey with you. I had to go with The Priory of the Orange Tree for this one because that is a goddamn chunk of a book that I adore so much. That could entertain me for a very, very long time on a journey because it's like 800 pages. Not everyone really enjoyed The Priory of the Orange Tree. I get it. I can see why. But as I was getting into it, the more I was reading it, the more I was loving it, and by the end, I just wanted more. I still want more. I have yet to read the prequel. I do own it, and I need to read it soon. It's just such an immersive fantasy. I love all of the characters so much. I loved following them. Really, my only complaint was I wanted more. Like, I didn't love it being a standalone because I just wanted more. I could read about the world and all the different characters probably forever. So could certainly take this one on a long journey and read about sapphic romances and dragons and have a good time forever. The Newcomer is the most recent book that you can't stop talking about. I don't have a lot of 5-star reads from this year. A lot of 4-star, I think even like a 4.5 here and there, but not a lot of just absolutely fantastic 5-star reads. But I did just finish episode 13 by Craig DeLuey this month, and that was so much better than I expected it to be. I was not expecting that to be a 5-star, but I love it. Okay, and I'm surprised because horrors are tough to be 5 stars. I love reading horrors, but being a 5-star is not common with them. This one follows a crew of ghost hunters who have this TV show. They're an interesting group of characters, and part of what made this book so good was following them and learning about them and their motivations behind why they're hosting and filming a ghost hunting show. You really kind of get in their heads throughout this book, and this is written as like a found footage document. There's diary entries and descriptions of videos type thing. And that's another thing that I don't always love in books, but I felt like was done really well here, and it didn't pull me out of the story like it does a lot of the time. This book gets wild real quick. The shit starts going down real quick, and I was there for it the entire time. I was in it. I wanted to know what was going to happen. I wanted to know what the hell was going on. I wanted to know everything, and by the end, I was mostly satisfied, a little confused, but not in a bad way. It's just left me thinking about it again and again and again, and so I probably won't shut up about this book. I've been debating doing a dedicated review for this book because it's one of the first books I read this year that I absolutely adored. The Quiet One is the book you reach for when you need some peace and quiet. I don't love a lot of like chill books that I feel like would kind of fit this, but Legends and Lattes, I love that book so much. It's so good. The cozy fantasy, the little bit of romance, the cafe vibes, the adorable freaking characters. It just has the perfect vibes for if I really need to relax and chill out. So I would definitely have to go with Legends and Lattes. If you have not read Legends and Lattes yet and you are at all interested in reading Legends and Lattes, do it. Read it. Get on it. The outgoing one, the book you would love to read in public, any book. Any book. The more unapproachable I appear in any public setting, the better. Don't talk to me. Don't perceive me. I am not here. Leave me alone. I have no interest in interacting with other humans, is basically what I'm saying. So if I'm out getting a coffee, if I'm in the waiting room at a doctor's office, if I am anywhere and I am reading a book, maybe people will be more likely to not speak to me. The guilty pleasure, the book you don't want to justify because it's just too embarrassing. Now, I have no shame and I am embarrassed by nothing, basically. I am a disaster of a human. I have embraced this at this point in my life and I'm just a strange person overall. So if you haven't noticed by the fact that I hosted a monster fucker readathon, guilty pleasure, it's just a good time for me. I don't feel guilty about shit. But if I had to pick something that kind of fits this, I guess I would go with anything by Katie Robert, specifically her Monster Fucker series, because it's not really something that I'm gonna go to like a family gathering and be like, hey guys, have you read The Kraken's Sacrifice? Have you read The Dragon's Bride? Do you want to talk about the two-peen situation? Like, do you want to have a discussion about that? That's not, you know, something I'm gonna bring up anywhere. Most places, to be honest, I would bring that up, but not anywhere. There are places where you don't just bring up two-peen situations. The Stranger, the book no one has heard of that you wish more people had so you could talk about it. The Poison Study series, every time, always. I want more people to read it. I know it's older YA fantasy, and to be honest, if someone recommended it to me, I would probably go, okay, and then not read it. So I get why people don't read it. I don't really want to read older YA series either. But this one is still good. It's so good. It follows Yelena, who basically becomes a food taster because she was in prison to be executed and was offered, hey, you can be a food taster instead because your life is forfeit anyway. And so she becomes a food taster for the commander to test foods for poison, learns all about poisons, falls in love with this guy Valak, who's the best. And it's just... okay, it's so good. It's so good. It is my favorite YA fantasy romance of all time, and I want everyone to read it. I know more people have kind of gotten into it now. There's been a special edition release that I pre-ordered a long time ago. I think it comes out in June. So excited for that. And so I'm hoping the series gets a little bit of a resurgence and more people start picking it up. The book was better. A book you loved, but the film adaptation was awful. I got nothing. I mean, Hannah said Aragon in her video, and that is a fair point. That adaptation was one of the worst ones ever made, ever. But to be honest, I just don't watch a lot of movies, and specifically, I don't watch a lot of movie adaptations of books I've read. I'm not super interested in doing so, and I don't know, I can't think of anything because I can't even think of any movie adaptations of books I've watched in the last few years. The author, an author you'll read anything they ever produce, always trust them completely. This is tough. There's not a lot of authors that I absolutely love everything they've written. I'm gonna go with Caitlin Starling because The Death of Jane Lawrence was just so good. It is currently probably my favorite book of all time, and so I will read anything she writes, even if I read something and it's not good, because I read Yellow Jasmine, which is her novella, and it was good, but it wasn't great. I don't care. I'm gonna read The Luminous Dead by her. I don't know if she has any other backlist. I'm gonna read that. Anything she releases, I'm gonna read that too, because I'm just gonna forever hope for another one as good as The Death of Jane Lawrence. And lastly, the tubers. Pick 3 YouTubers who are your ride and die to tag. I'm tagging Hannah. Hannah, I want you to do this again. I want to see how your answers have changed, because your booktube has changed a lot, because I watched your video before I made this tag, and your booktube, it's changed a lot. I think your opinions on types of books have changed quite a bit, and I just would be really interested to see how different your answers are now than they were then. If some of them are still the same, you know, I'm interested, so I want you to do it again. I'm also gonna tag Abby because Abby is definitely a booktube ride or die. The fact that she watches all of my videos. Like, I will wake up and there will be comments on 3 different videos, just a whole bunch of comments. Like, ma'am, how do you have the time? And then I'll take Allie from Hardback Hoarder because Allie is just always a ride or die. Allie is the ride or die friend. And, you know, I'd like to see what her ride or die books are. Yeah, that's it. I don't know how well this turned out because there was a lot of chaos going on in the background. There's a lot I'm gonna have to edit out, but hopefully my points got across for my answers. Comment down below what your ride or die books are, and subscribe if you want to see more of my face. I will see you in the next one.